Netflix is so successful that a lot of analysts believe they have nowhere to go but down, unless, of course, they lose friends. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and yeah, we're going to talk about Netflix a little bit today because there's a couple interesting articles that came up with Netflix. One that is definitely funny, and one that's a little bit more serious. Now let's talk about the funny one first. How long will Friends remain on Netflix? What about a reunion? Everything you need to know. Now we're not going to talk the whole thing because, frankly, I don't care that much about Friends. I like it, don't get me wrong. However, I think it's really funny when you look at how much of Netflix's success is really because of a couple shows that haven't been producing new episodes for a long time. The two biggest shows on Netflix are Friends and The Office. People didn't cancel their subscription when they announced that Daredevil and Punisher and Jessica Jones were canceled. They didn't cancel their subscription when they found out Kevin Spacey had been fired from House of Cards, although almost nobody watched the final season as a result of that, so that much they did do. However, they did raise hell, absolute hell, when they found out that Friends would be leaving Netflix, to the point where Netflix ponied over a huge $100 million for one more year of the show being on the service. And here's the funny thing, when you look at some of the funny tweets, people are really, this is really like a big deal to people. It kind of makes me wonder if people really know the value of money sometimes. Because here's a couple tweets right here. The only reason I have an account with Netflix is to rewatch Friend, Twitter user Haley Kiyoko wrote in December 2018. Why, Netflix, are you hurting us? And Saselu97 added, Netflix is really removing Friends on January 1st, and the only reason I have an account is to rewatch the same episodes of the show whenever I'm bored, so I guess it's time to cancel my subscription. Now, these might be fairly sarcastic comments, who knows? I would hate to think if someone was really that stupid, because you know how Friends worked for me? We bought DVDs for my mom, and when I moved out my own and wanted my own copy, they were releasing on Blu-ray, so I bought the Blu-ray box set for $150, and I've had it for several years. Had I been paying for Netflix just to watch Friends, that would have exceeded $150 by now. So yeah, there's still logistical reasons to have discs, folks. However, that's the funny story. The real story might actually be this one, in the sense that Netflix is so successful it might start running out of new US subscribers soon. So here's what the story says. Netflix, in the eyes of many consumers, is the king of the streaming video hill. It's where the most content and the buzziest shows and movies can be found, and it's spending billions of dollars through the remainder of this year to keep its pipeline of original series and movies, as well as licensed content, as chock full as possible. However, Netflix is so good at what it does that it may soon reach an unfortunate milestone in the US, according to the PwC consulting firm. The streaming giant may be getting closer to running out of new US subscribers to sign up. That's one of the findings highlighted in the Global Entertainment and Media Outlook 2019 to 2023 report that PwC released Wednesday. Quote, Netflix appears to be nearing its peak subscriber point in the US. The first mover advantage in streaming video that Netflix has capitalized on to date continues to be eroded as the industry begins to fragment, with more and more companies entering the market, from pay TV heavyweights to specialized niche players. The latter, of course, is a reference to the imminent launch of new services like Disney Plus, which is coming in November and which will host content from top-tier brands like Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney, and cost $7 a month, although not for long. That will be going up. It will have only a fraction of the content in Netflix's vast library, although if you watch my videos on my other channel, you know that that's actually not really true. They could definitely equal Netflix's content if they really digged into their archives. But again, I made videos on my other channel about that. But Disney's top brass is hoping its quality will make up for the quantity. Apple, meanwhile, is likewise heading for a fall launch of its comparable product, Apple TV Plus, for which the iPhone maker has recruited star power along the lines of Steven Spielberg, Oprah Winfrey, and Jennifer Aniston, to name just a few. Oh, they highlighted Jennifer Aniston? I guess that's where the Friends reunion is coming. Probably. I don't know that for sure. I'm just thinking right now. It's commissioned a slew of original TV series like For All Mankind, a trailer for which got shown off at Apple's WWDC 2019 event this week, and presents an alternative history of the space race. And by the way, that show does look amazing. Warner Media is another deep-pocketed new arrival that's poised to enter the increasingly fractured streaming market soon, to say nothing of the strong showing that Amazon and HBO continue to make. They're both likewise spending large sums to fund the next big thing, with Amazon teeing up hopefuls like a new Lord of the Rings series and HBO preparing to debut highly anticipated new series like Watchmen as it turns the pages on the unparalleled success of Game of Thrones. If the PwC reports to be believed, all the above offers another rationale as to why Netflix may hit its peak in the US soon. I mean, aside from the fact that last I checked, about 80% of the population in America had Netflix accounts. So it's kind of hard to go much higher than that. And they're still not profitable. Variety on Wednesday cited figures from Netflix's first quarter 2019 earnings to bolster the PwC findings. Specifically, it pointed out that Netflix added a net 1.74 million new US streaming customers during the quarter to reach 60.2 million paid subscribers. Thanks in part to a price hike that rolled out over the course of the year, Netflix forecasts adding 300,000 net US subscribers for the second quarter. The streaming giant still has plenty of room to grow internationally, with a JP Morgan estimate figuring the company could surpass 200 million global paid subscribers in 2 more years. However, the range Netflix has been telling Wall Street that it thinks it will ultimately settle at in the US is between 60 and 90 million, and it's already reached the low end of that spectrum. By the way, there's an ad for Stranger Things. I have not watched it still yet. The discs are, I don't know if you can see them, they're sitting next to the wire right there. So I'm still waiting to watch it. Maybe I'll finally get in with 3 seasons under the belt. That might be a good amount to get started in. None of this, of course, should read as any kind of doomsday forecast for the service, which PwC estimates will spend around $13 billion on content this year, making, in fact, the biggest spender in the US. And subscribers, meanwhile, have plenty of major new arrivals to look forward to, like the 3rd season of Stranger Things that's coming on July 4th. And yeah, I mean, right now, Netflix is still doing fine. They are the leader, that's undisputed, and there's more things they can do to continue to grow. I mean, even if they hit that peak, they could do things like, say, no more family sharing, like no more password sharing. Like they actually enforce, like, this is on a device, and you have to go to another device and deactivate the other device, and you can do that so many times. And that way, people who are sharing their accounts, well, those people who are being shared with, they will probably sign up for their own Netflix account. There's some growth right there. Also, they will be putting ads on their shows. They haven't announced it. However, I know they're going to do it at some point. It's really the only logical thing they can do to pay for all the servers, and that will bring in tons and tons of money. And by the way, that means numbers will be a little bit more important at that point. Now, a lot of people say they will cancel. I don't think that's true. I think some will, but they'll be back. Because what are you going to do? You're going to go back to basic TV? I mean, come on. It's not convenient at all. So Netflix is, at least number-wise, very successful. Now, they're still not making money, and that's problematic. I also see Netflix at some point embracing theatrical distribution a little bit more and selling digital content and discs to consumers. So there are, since they now make their own content, they can kind of expand upon that. And with Stranger Things, like, they actually started doing merchandise tie-ins with, like, Coca-Cola and stuff. So if they could have a few more shows where merchandise can be really essential to the success of the show, then they could definitely become, like, the next Paramount. Like, that's one thing I will say about this, as the timing is very interesting, because as Fox folded into Disney, Netflix comes along, and now we've essentially got another major studio on the lot. So I kind of like that, and who knows, maybe Funimation will be, I don't know, Funimation's owned by Sony. But yeah, so it's nice to have, like, another original content producer that could essentially challenge the big ones. As long as they start implementing some of these things, embracing services that they have long been shunning, well, they will do very well in the future. Although at one point they do have to make money. I mean, I can't criticize Uber for not making money and sit here and say, oh, it's okay that Netflix doesn't make money. No, it's not okay. They really need to start making money soon. However, I'm going to leave it there. What do you folks think? Do you agree with this article? Do you disagree? Would you cancel Netflix if they got rid of Friends? Would you consider buying the DVDs or Blu-ray box sets, which are fairly inexpensive now? I would love to know. So, comment below. like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, subscribe to the Apptrepreneur Vlogs channel. If gas prices are getting you a little low, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, but you get free gas with every purchase. And if you want to talk to me or other fellow rideshare drivers, content consumers, carnivores, people who love Netflix, I'm going to be streaming Riverdale after I finish making these videos today. Check us out at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts at Facebook. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.